research must be conducted in a scientific manner. Scientific manner means if you undertake a research, other people also undertake the research. They should be able to get the same finding which you are able to get through the same steps. Then we call it scientific approach. Being scientific means your approach to research is not something confidential. It is open. It is something based on verifiable principles. In the process of research, there are three important elements. First is validity, second is reliability, and third is generalizability. What do you know by generalizability? If Snehalataji undertakes research in Mumbai, can the findings be applicable in other cities? Can the findings be applied in other similar situation in Kolkata or in Mumbai? For example, Snehalataji undertakes a study on quality of work life. She tries to find out the variables that affect the quality of work life. Now, will those findings be applicable to organizations which are working in Delhi or to the organizations which are working in Mumbai? If your answer is yes, then this is called generalizability. Generalizability means your research findings should be applied in similar situations elsewhere. So every research should have generalizability. But then there are some researches where generalizability is not possible. Qualitative research studies, generalizability is not the goal there. You have conducted in-depth case study in Akshay Patra Foundation. It may be very difficult to find the similar circumstances, similar situations, similar perspectives, similar culture elsewhere in the world. The kind of spiritualism, the kind of commitment, the kind of dedication that you can find in this Akshay Patra is rare to be found in elsewhere in any other organization. The kind of leadership that you can find in Akshay Patra is rare to be found in any other organization. You may say it's good, but how can you replicate it? How can you apply it? How can you practice it in any other organization? It requires certain culture, it requires certain context, which is not possible elsewhere. So in qualitative studies, generalizability is not a major issue. But when you are doing a quantitative study where objective research is there, where you have developed a theory, where you have developed a model, where you have prepared a framework, which should obviously follow generalizability principle. So when you are conducting a research, and especially if it is a quantitative research, try to ensure that your research has the most essential element in the form of generalizability. Besides generalizability, there are two other variables, validity and reliability. Now, what is the meaning of valid? If any one of you can define the meaning of valid. So the validity is from the valid, the word valid. What is the meaning of valid? Validity.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, if you think of validity means how validity, you can actually think of authentic, sir. How
Absolutely.
genuine it
Genuineness,
is.
authentic.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh. Wonderful. Validity means authenticity. Yes, defined it in very simple terms, an excellent definition. If I say my height is 7 feet, now you will question me. You will question my validity. Why? Because either I am wrong or the measurement tool that I have used is inaccurate. In any case, it's a question of validity. If I say my height is 7 feet, you will tell me, sir, you are wrong. Why I am wrong? Then you will say, okay, come check on this measurement. I'll say, no, I go with my own measurement. I have my own measures. I'll go with that. There is the question of validity. Is my measure really true measure? Is my measure as per the international standard? There is an international standard of length which has defined 1 meter is equal to this, 1 feet is equal to this. Now, if my measure is exactly accurate exactly as much as the international standard, then fine, no problem. But if that is not the case, then there is a question of validity. How can I say I am 7 feet? My measurement is not acceptable. So the research validity question is there. You conduct a study. You conduct a study on, let's say, emotional quotient. You prepare a scale, test people, and tell at the end of your study that these people are having very high emotional quotient. Now, these people have very high emotional quotient. How did you come to know? You say, I have prepared a scale, and that scale is giving a measurement that these people are having this much of score, which is highest possible score on quantitative parameters, and this will judge whether the person is having emotional quotient or not. Now, my question is your scale really valid scale? Is your scale really valid scale or not? How do I judge its validity? So that is called validity. If you can test the validity of your instrument, of the scale that you're using, then this problem is solved. So what should you do? Can you tell me what should be done? Obviously, when you're using any instrument in your research, ensure that you are checking the validity, the reliability of your instrument before you use them. Or if you have developed new instrument, then check out their validity and reliability. So can you do it? Yes, you should do it. So by checking, by ensuring that your instruments, what are the instruments? In research, the data collection is with the help of some instruments. What are those instruments? In case of social science researches, we do not have any equipment. We use list of questions, a list of questions or list of statements, categorize them as a scale. Based on that, we try to measure certain attributes. We try to measure certain values. These are called instruments. So research instruments could be a scale, research instrument could be some questionnaire, research instrument could be some such tool. Of course, in scientific instruments, which are used in a laboratory, they are also instruments. They are used in scientific research. But if you are doing a social science research, then how do you measure some attribute? If somebody say he is having very high motivation, how will you judge motivation? There is instrument. If you say he has got excellent leadership quality, how will you judge leadership quality? There are instruments. If you say he has very high level of emotional stability, emotional quotient, or intelligence quotient, now how can you say these things? There are instruments. You can judge those things. So I hope you all agree that a research instrument is a measurement tool which is prepared to measure certain quality which may be present in a person. Now the essential quality of research instrument is objectivity, reliability, validity. Validity here means it should actually measure what it is supposed to measure, nothing else. Reliability means when you conduct a research and somebody else also conducts the research, the finding is different. When you conduct a research in the month of January and again you conduct the research in the month of February, the finding is different. There is no reliability. Reliability means when a research instrument gives a measurement, it should give the same measurement again. It should give the same measurement whether it is X who is doing or whether it is Y who is doing it. So when the findings are coming same, then this is reliable. In scientific instrument, let's say a thermometer. You give me one thermometer and check my temperature. You bring another thermometer and check my temperature. The temperature in both the thermometers should be same. Obviously, that is reliability. Both the thermometers should give same measurement. That is their quality of reliability. If I use that thermometer today, and if I use that thermometer again tomorrow or day after tomorrow, it should give consistent finding. Of course, my inner temperature can change, but the qualities of thermometer will remain same. If my temperature is so and so, it will give measurement and give finding. So the thermometer will have what we call as reliability. The thermometer cannot measure my height. If I want to check my height with my thermometer, is it possible? No. I can only measure my temperature with the help of thermometer. This is its validity. It is supposed to measure only my temperature. So validity is to measure exactly what it is supposed to measure. And reliability is to find same consistent findings over a period of time. If the findings are different, there is question on reliability. Suppose I have a measurement scale, and this measurement scale gives my measurement. I wanted to check my height, isn't it? So I use that scale. Now it checked and gave me a height of 7 feet. I'm very happy that my height is 7 feet. Now tomorrow again I check my height, and suppose my height will be tomorrow 5 feet. Day after tomorrow again I measure my height, and the instrument says my height is 4 feet. Is it possible? It is not possible. What kind of problem is it? Is the problem of validity or a problem of reliability? Obviously, it's a problem of reliability. The research instrument is having the problem of reliability. It is giving inconsistent findings. It should give same finding. So what should you do? If you prepare a research instrument, you have to check it again and again. Ensure it is having very high level of reliability and very high level of validity. If your research instrument is outstanding in reliability, outstanding in validity, excellent in objectivity, excellent in generalizability, then what should you do? Give yourself big applause. You have prepared an excellent research instrument. Get it protected by copyright laws so that nobody can copy it. If somebody has to copy it, they have to take your permission. If someone has to use it, they have to take your permission. Right? Do you do it? In your research, you'll be using many research instruments. You will be using some established questionnaire. You'll be using some established scales. So my question is, have you obtained permission for them? Write to them. Write to the author. Tell them you're doing a research, doctoral study. For doctoral study, you need the permission to use the scale developed by them. Take their permission and thereafter use the scale. And in your research also, you mention that I obtained permission for using this and this scale for my research. And this scale you are using as per academic permission. And if you don't get permission, then what do? Then I'll suggest you prepare your own instrument for the research. You prepare your own instrument for the research. Check its reliability, check its validity, undertake testing. After thorough testing, apply it in your own research, get its findings, share it with the world. And thereafter, keep its copyright protection, share it with the world, whosoever wants to use it. Then somebody will request you, give me the permission to use this instrument. You can give the permission and enable the person to use it. So when you are conducting a research, what are the important steps? We have already discussed. Can we recapitulate those steps? First step was identify problem. Second was clearly define the problem, very well defined. And for that, undertake literature review. After literature review, what should you do? Identify the gaps from the research. Based on the literature review, prepare the research gaps, narrow down your focus, identify specific research objectives that you have to address. Then what do? Prepare your research plan, research design. What are the steps? Prepare your hypothesis if you have. Hypothesis means what is the assumption, what is the understanding, what is the prevailing understanding about relationship between these variables or the research proposition. And then what do? Prepare your complete research design, whether you will go for a sample or whether you will go for universal data collection. Then you have to prepare your research instruments, right? At this stage, you should take permission from your supervisor, whether you should go ahead with this or not. You should take permission at each level, but this is the stage at which you have to face DRC. And DRC means Doctoral Research Committee, which will scrutinize your steps, your hypothesis, your literature review, your research instruments, and will give recommendation, give you further guidance. These are the steps that you should do. Now, your time and resources will be required heavily, because after these stages, you will have to invest your time and resources substantially in data collection and in data analysis. That will require long time, right? So data collection and analysis will start once all these things are ready. What are the things that you should have now in your hand? Your working hypothesis, your research plans, your research instruments, your plans for sampling. All these things are ready now. If everything is ready, go ahead. Take your lead, go ahead. Now, actual research will start when everything is in your hand, including the findings of your pilot study. Your pilot study should be over now. Pilot study means you have conducted a small study and you have checked whether your real research will work or not. So that will help you. When you are starting a research, you have an outline of a model that you are going to test. A model is already there in your mind, or based on your literature, you prepared a model. You're going to test that model. And this model has to be tested based on the research findings. You will apply some statistical tools on the data collected, check the model. If required, you will prepare a new model and submit your research findings in the form of a validated model that is the outcome of your research. And based on your research, some other people will benefit. Your theory should help. Don't undertake anything which cannot help the mankind. Don't undertake anything which cannot solve the problems. There are plenty of problems. If you're doing a research, your research should address a problem. If your research is not able to address a problem, don't waste time and resources. And if you can, then try to simplify your research models in common language and circulate it among newspapers for the benefit of the common people. The research findings should be circulated among newspapers in common language so that common people are able to benefit from them. In India, there are a large number of agricultural universities, and each of them has a large number of agricultural scientists. So we have plenty of agricultural scientists. But the problem is that the farmers are clueless. The farmers are not able to get any solution. What is the problem? The problem is the scientists, agricultural scientists, undertake their research in English language. The same British legacy is continuing. Everything good should be done in British English language. It is very unfortunate that even after independence, even after 7 decades, India continues to disregard and neglect its own languages, including the top planners of India. They do not care to develop their own the India's languages. They do not want to give recognition to a research work which has been conducted in local language. So what is the outcome? The agricultural scientist prepares his thesis in English language, writes a PhD thesis in English language. His findings, his major contribution is in English language. He doesn't share them in common language in local newspapers. The next door farmer who is living just close to the agricultural university doesn't get any benefit from the research conducted by the scientist. What is the outcome? Zero, a big zero. The farmer is not able to get solutions for his common problem. The scientist may have done wonderful research, but what is the outcome? Is the farmer able to get any benefit? Is there any benefit for the farming community? No. Is the next door farmer able to get some benefit? He is able to implement it? No. Then why is the scientist wasting the time? Why is the scientist wasting his resources? Just influence the scientist. Just tell the scientist that if you have conducted a research and if there are some findings, please share them in common language, in vernacular language, share them in the local newspapers so that more and more farmers can apply and can benefit from the research findings. I hope all of you will try to apply these principles in your own researches and will help the mankind. Thank you all.